You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Wepa, what up, mi gente? This is your boy Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. Yep, today we're talking indie comics, more indie comics. Go indie, wepa. That's what I love. We have an amazing creator today from Part-Time Comics. That's right. Homie got some dope stuff. Man, I just read this one. Yo, oh my God. It's heavy metal. It's music related. The art, it's fire. I read 11 pages. He teased me too, folks. I can't wait to get into it. Let me introduce the one, the only, the future star, Jon Westhoff. It's popping, kiddo. How you doing?
Oh, wow. What an introduction. I don't know if I can top that. Please, if you want to travel with me and be my hype man, you know, I'll send you an offer.
Hey, bro. I'll wear the big clock and all for you. Don't you worry, kiddo. Awesome. Yo, kid, thank you again for taking some time out your day to chit-chat with us, you know, and let us know about this awesome world that you're creating here, you know, in Part-Time Comics, you know, Drumsticks of Doom and all this goodness. But if you watched the show before, I need them origin stories, John. I need to know where them roots is at, kiddo. So talk about where you from originally, where you grew up.
Well, I grew up and I'm still in the Chicago-ish area. You know, those of us near a major city.
Chi-town.
Yeah, we always claim the major city, even though I've been about 45 minutes outside of Chicago most of my life. All my life, really. So I'm an Illinois boy, born and raised.
Okay.
My comic origin story is I was lucky enough to have an amazing grandmother who worked.
Grandma
worked near a comic shop. I had a cleaning company, and she would take us there every once in a while, and that's kind of where I started down this path.
Salute to grandma. I think you're the first one that has said it was grandma that kind of put me on. Love it. That's fantastic. So what were the first things that your eyes kind of geared to when grandma was taking you?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 99% sure. The first comic I remember was Amazing Spider-Man 332, where Venom's jumping at the cover, you know, with the leaning back Spider-Man Eric Larson cover, and I was just hooked from then on out. I'm pretty sure it was my first or second trip, and that's the one I always remember. I still have the copy here.
You're making me feel old. I was a teenager when that came out, so damn. You were saying you're a little kid, grandma taking. Oh, damn.
Oh, no.
Awesome. All right, so did you have, I guess you have siblings? You said it would take us?
Yeah, it was really me and my brother. He's about a year older than me. We're Irish twins, so he was into X-Men. He was into that universe. I took Spider-Man, and then we were right around the boom of Image. So he took Spawn and Savage Dragon. I had Max and Pitt. And, you know, we kind of divided them up. So you know, for my formative years, me and my brother were pretty big into it. We were able to share books and
oh, cool. I'm a big Spawn guy to this day, brother. Yeah, bro, that's my joint. So outside of your brother, did you find a tribe, you know, or was that, you know, too geeky for people still?
Yeah, you know, I think at that time, you know, not a lot of my friends were into it. I was fortunate enough as I got older into high school, I found a few real close friends who were into it. Most of my friends were casual, you know, they would read Batman or at least something. I remember when we were younger, but yeah, it was really me and my brother for most of those years. My sister got into it a little bit, but not so much. She's a little bit older than us, but it wasn't really, I did not really find my tribe until after high school, early 20s. I found these amazing, you know, to make myself feel old, you know, message board communities were big,
you know,
20, 25 years ago. And I was so fortunate to find, you know, so many like-minded people that really, then I really started getting into the hobby. I started getting away from just reading Marvel. And again, I dabbled in Image, but I really found this huge world of comics, thanks to all these amazing people I found through like we met on the internet.
Isn't that wonderful, the internet? And as a kid, did they ever take you to a con as a kid, as your interest grew, or was that something you did later on?
No, that is something I should mention. My mother, you know, knew we were into comics. She really nurtured it as well. She took me to my
shout out mama.
Mom took us to Wizard World. I want to say 94. I was probably 12 or 13, maybe even a little younger. It was one of the first. And I remember my sole mission at that convention when she told me we were going to this convention where they have a bunch of comics, find Amazing Spider-Man 300. And again, I still have it to this day. I saved up my $30. I found it that the first vendor I went to, $30. I said, I was a kid,
I'm taking it.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't give
whatever
a shit. Give me.
And I just remember that excitement that I found the comic that they didn't have at the shop, which was my favorite character, Venom. And my mom took me a couple other times. We got some autographs. I still remember getting Todd McFarlane's autograph, Mark Bagley. Nice. She took us several times before we were 13 or 14, and then you kind of go through that phase where you're like, I like, I'm chasing girls or boys, whatever you're into. And you kind of get away from comics for a little bit. But yeah, mom was a big part of that too.
The skip year, that those years as you become older, you realize, damn, those are the years that now I gotta fill holes.
For sure.
Damn it, dating. All right.
It's the worst.
Yeah, right. So all right, so here you are, you meeting your tribe, building a tribe, the boards and all, you're going to cons, you're doing your thing. When did the bite come? That creative spark happen when you said, I want to maybe do something?
Well, and we may get into this as we talk about the book you were alluding to earlier. Really, the spark for me came in music. Okay. I was in bands since I was 14 or 15, even if it was just us playing in the basement.
What type of music?
Heavy metal,
mostly. Of course.
Heavy metal, hardcore, alternative, whatever you want to call it. We were definitely into that. So I was in a band, most of my life. It wasn't until I started to transition out of being in a band. I said, well, I'm meeting all these great people online who make comics. I've made music. I also did some like internet comedy stuff with friends and stuff like that. So I enjoyed creation.
And you've written music, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. There you go. Shit. I mean, that's creativity right there. Hell yeah. Songwriters, musicians are storytellers themselves. So I would think it is an easy transition.
And I don't think it was ever a conscious thing. Like I know people tell me, when I was 10 years old, I always wanted to write and draw a comic. I never really felt like that. That was kind of my brother. He was the artist. He would get these blank books and make his own comics. I just enjoyed the hobby. It wasn't until, again, I kind of don't think I consciously thought of it, but it kind of filled a creative void. I could tell I was starting, I had a family, I was starting to have children, and I still wanted to be creative. And, you've mentioned the word several times, that tribe. I wanted to do things with my friends, make these cool things, go to conventions, talk to people. And I said, you know what? I'm part of these, communities online, and they have some amazing creators. Well, maybe I'll give it a try. And thankfully, I put myself out there, and somebody I still work with to this day, Bob Ornelas, he answered one of my message board posts, and he said, yeah, let's create a comic together. And he and I have been doing it for 12 years since.
Whoa, nice. So what was that learning curve like for you? Not in that transition to learn how to create a comic, because being a reader is one thing. Now you're gonna step into the world, baby. I mean, what was that like for you?
Yeah, it's harder than people think. If you've never given it a try, I mean, just comic pacing in general is very hard. You don't have an unlimited amount of time to put words on the panel. You have to be concise. That was hard for me. My first couple stories, I'll be honest, were they did not have a real definitive flow. I thought, the artist can pump out, a page a day, and we'll be putting out, hundreds of pages a year, and this story can just go wherever it wants. And then he kind of reined me in and said, well, I'm more like a page a week person. And, if you want this story to be 100 pages, it's going to take about 3 years. So
let me check you real quick, homie. Slow down, slow your roll.
Exactly. And you need to find those people that will check you and kind of put you in your place and say, think about this a little bit before you kind of, I don't want to say waste my time, but we spend too much time meandering around and not getting to the point of what we want to do.
Yeah, and you got to get to the point of creation. I'm going to bring this up on screen too. I'll show just from that preview, because I want everybody to see all of it. I'm only going to stop right at the 5th page, so you're going to have to look at the rest. All right, we teasers here. We're dressed and we don't have stripper pose, but yet we still tease. Look at us. So let me. Bro, and talk about the seeds of this, because I enjoyed the hell out of this 11-page preview. You're killing me. I need more immediately. And the art is like fire. So talk to me about the seeds of this particular story.
Well, the seeds of this story started about 7 or 8 years ago. It's a story where I kind of just had an idea. Young woman, in her early 20s, not sure if she wants to make music or not. That's kind of where I was in my life. You know, I had
Okay.
people I was in bands with who really, they wanted that to be their life. And I knew that I enjoyed it, but wasn't really ready to make that step.
Really?
And
Okay.
that's when it started. But to be honest with you, when I sat and thought with that, I said, you know what? I'm not the Hernandez brothers. I don't know if anybody's going to read my boring story about a girl hanging out or man, I don't think at the time I knew who the character was.
Yeah.
So, you know, I said, well, what does that world look like? And it was a couple years later where I really said, well, I was listening to the band Manowar.
Ooh.
And I was like, these lyrics are so over the top. What if there was a universe where this was real? You know, people just live by the code of metal, you know, heavy metal. If you don't like heavy metal, you are not my friend, you know, with some of the lyrics. So that was where it built. And then I said, oh, these two stories go together. I have this young person who doesn't know where they want to be in music, and they're in a world where they really have to make this type of music only.
Ooh.
And I kind of sat on it for a while until I really found an artist who I thought, you know, you mentioned already, Dan Doherty is amazing. Not only is he an amazing artist.
Let's look at that cover. God damn. Colors, design. I mean, yo, this is heavy metal album artwork right here, son.
And that's the amazing Maria Wolf, who was for Marvel. She did an amazing cover.
Oh, this look at this. No, this is fire, right? Well, you have, don't worry, we're gonna see the interiors, because the interior is where you really caught me, because black and white.
Yes.
Right? Boom. Oh, look at that line work, baby.
And of course, no disrespect to Maria, her cover is amazing. But yes, you see why I recruited Dan. Dan is also a musician. He's a full-time artist, part-time musician. So he was somebody I've been friends with for a while, and I really wanted to work with somebody who understood music, who'd played, who'd kind of, and Dan and I did a story. He contributed a story to an anthology we did about 10 years ago called Banthology, which was all
Banthology. Oh, cool. My daughter would love it because she's a heavy metal freak, son.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we had some, again, I met all these awesome people who were also in bands and creating comics. I said, let's create an anthology. Right. Dan submitted a story which was about, he played a really good live gig, and just, it was called The Beast in Me, where he just kind of always had that fire in him. He wanted to replicate that, and he was never really able to get there musically. And that just really hit me. And I said, oh, Dan is the one for this story. Like, he understands that drive that you can't explain to other people when you play live music. And of course he's an exceptional artist. And I said, I finally got up the courage to say, Dan, do you have time in your schedule to do? I mean, look at the guitars. Like, I told him,
yeah, bro, this is so sick. This is just so absolutely sick. And whether you believe it or not, my daughter has this style guitar upstairs, but we got to fix the joint. It got bent on heat, man. We got so fucking mad. Got to replace that shit.
Yeah, you got to have a flying V if you're going to play metal guitar.
Yo, for real, yeah, and gorgeous, yo. I got that shit on a sweet deal when I bought it too.
And I told Dan, just to be honest with you, Dan is, I would describe his music as more pop or independent. But when I told him, hey, this is a heavy metal world, guitars got to be real jagged. You got to have BC Rich Jackson guitars. And he said, say no more. And now when I first saw this, I'm like, we're going to do a whole comic just about the music shop, so I can just make you draw all the drums. He's like, no, please don't do that.
I want to meet him because look at him. He looks like V from V for Vendetta. I mean, look at him. I want to know. And he Italian too. Like, what you need in the heavy metal? You and your kids.
I'm glad you picked that up, because I didn't think people would understand in print that I was trying to do a bad Italian accent.
Oh, no, bro. I'm from Brooklyn, so, bro, come on, man. I'm reading it. I said, damn, you sound like homie from the pizza shop that I used to, after we got out the club. I kid you not, homie. We used to be like, how many a slice are you a want? 2 or 3? I'm like, yo, what up, homie? Let me get 2. Go, oh, 2 it is. And then he just throw it in.
Amazing.
I swear, this is energy at night. It was hilarious. And especially if you go in there kind of screwball because you had a few drinks, it's like, whoa, am I in like Wario World or some shit?
Exactly, Mario World.
But bro, my God, this is the whole shit here. Why black and white too? I mean, was that a decision from you, your boy, together? Because I love it. This is my joint. I fell in love with this book immediately.
Well, and I'm so glad to hear that, because that especially in indie comics, it can be a tough decision. Dan and I went back and forth. He had a colorist in mind. He said, if we're going to color it, this is who I want to use. But when I saw his art, and I just felt like a heavy metal story fits with black and white art.
Oh, yes.
And Dan doesn't do a lot of his art. He did a series called Bob Howard, Plumber of the Unknown, which was very supernatural and black and
Plumber
white.
of the Unknown. I love
He
it.
did, and that story I mentioned in Banthology was also black and white. So I picture Dan's art in just this striking black and white. And again, I think it fits in like a, an old school heavy metal type story. So we decided, we talked about it together. He said, yeah, I mean, it's your story. If you don't want to have a color, put it out there.
You're not messing around, because come on, you're telling me a diner called Death Lunch? I'd be terrified. I'm like, wait a minute, what you mean? It's like working style servings over here. My last meal. Then you got satanic churches and all. I mean, metal to the core. And please tell me, is that a real demon, or that's just a helmet homie wearing?
Well, dear readers, you'll have to read on.
But, what a tease. You see, folks, we tease without a pole, baby. And I think I'll show one more after this, because I just can't. Look at this beautiful work. So explain to me, because there it goes. Are you a Slipknot fan? Because they go, sorry, I'm late, maggots. I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute.
and that's a term that's used by a lot of real, death metal bands and things like that. I can't say that I particularly thought of Slipknot, but I've definitely have enjoyed and seen Slipknot several times. But I'm definitely of that era too, like 94, 95, 96 metal, Sepultura.
I saw them live. Yes, I seen them live too.
Oh yeah, so good. That's definitely my heyday when I was, a teenager in high school.
I saw them later in life because my daughter went to see them. I said, damn, I can't let you go alone. You're small, son. I mean, so here's daddy being part of the wall, enjoying the concert, but watching this like 7-foot motherfucker, doing his thing in the mosh, and looking at me. I'm like, oh man, like God. All right, baby, if I disappear, just try to move more closer to the front.
Right.
I dig it. Introduce to me the world here. Who are these people, at the bottom of my head that are just jamming out right now?
So you've got Lana and her as of yet unnamed band here. She's got, George. She's got Jimmy.
Who's George? That's George?
Yep, George on guitar. We got Jimmy on drums.
Okay.
And we got Jeff on guitar here. He's kind of the matriarch of the band. He's the one who writes the songs and really wants to break into music. And you see, Dan captured this image perfectly. She has a different viewpoint of what music is about, right? She's having fun. She's having a good time. She's a little more laid back than her band. And she's kind of thinking, we kind of see the seeds in this scene where she doesn't know if she wants to be in a metal band in a world of metal.
So is that how you felt? Because how do you deal with something like that? Here you are, 3 guys trying to kick ass, and you have this one member just nonchalant about shit. I mean, being in bands before, did you ever deal with that type of stuff? And how do you even deal with that and work around it?
I mean, most of the bands I've been in were with some very close friends, and I feel like growing up together, we were very much on the same page. But I will be honest, later, again, I kind of got to that point where my goals were different than their goals. We didn't necessarily always evolve together as far as our musical styles. And so I made the choice, you know what, I'm just going to play casually with friends on my own. If you guys want to go form another band, and that is a challenging experience. I mean, you go to battle with these people, month after month, you travel to shows, you do all, and I was never signed to a label or did like a world tour or anything, but still, I feel like
man.
It's tough to kind of get to that point to say this is not going to be a huge part of my life anymore. And when other people in your band are not at that same point, it's a challenge.
Wow. I mean, but kudos on you just knowing where you want to go and taking those steps. That's being brave and, just making decisions that people are so afraid to make nowadays. So, kudos on you for making a decision and just sticking with what you do, kiddo. I salute you, bro.
Thanks. And then again,
real,
you channel that energy into other things. And now I got the drum set set up after a few years. I'm teaching my kids. So there's still music to be made. It just may not be what it was when you were.
But you're making a new type of music, bro. You're making a new type of music. Now you're on the world of comics, kiddo. You're giving us some heavy metal through these pages, through these words, through this wonderful art team and stuff. So I got this 11-page preview, but folks, you're not going to see all of it here. All right, because if you want to go see that, I highly suggest you go right here to his link tree at Part-Time Comics with an X. All right. And 2 T's in between, all right? Part-Time Comics, and check it out. You get the full, because I'm done teasing you guys. That's it. We gotta keep talking about story, but I'm done teasing you guys. Or should I show one more? What do you think, John?
Give him one more. I really
like
the next page.
Oh, yeah. When he's talking about being serious about your game.
Yep.
What emotion translated in that one little panel right there? Great job, well done. But even overall, I mean, look at this, the sweat beads and all everything.
Yeah,
So
Dan is just
talk about
insane.
this page.
Well, again, this is kind of where our story kicks off, right? And then, again, Al is VIP, so he's seen a little bit more than this that you'll see, if you jump into the book. But this is where it really steps off. She has a disagreement with her longtime musician friend / ex-partner, which you find out on this page, and then some real stuff kicks off in the next few pages. Where this is kind of the again, what I was kind of searching for. Like I said, I kind of thought of the story, and then once I kind of had the seeds of the first couple scenes, this is where things change for her.
Okay.
She can't be casual about anything in her life anymore, so she has to make a decision. It's time to grow up, and how do I want to make that happen?
And do things happen, boy? Does she got to grow up quick and make a choice? Because it's like, holy shit, the world is about to get totally insane. So, what influences, did you have for the story? Because there's so many things involved. I see layers, if you will.
Well, I'm a huge fan of comics like this. I don't know if I'll ever live up to something like 11 Rockets, or there was a story by Tony Sandoval called Doom Boy, which was centered around music. There's another one. Scott Pilgrim, even they use music to great effect in that comic. I just always love those kind of comics. And again, through Banthology, I tried to create that kind of vibe.
I gotta look that up, Banthology. I just love the name.
Yeah, no, I'll send it over to you. I'm very proud of it. The work that the people did in that book, it exudes, again, those who are musicians.
And you helped put it together?
Great. Yeah, I was the editor, but really it was kind of just, I found some like-minded people and said,
editor, look at you feeling wait a minute, put on your other hat. So talk about that too, man. Yeah, well, as an entrepreneur, don't we have to wear many? So talk, how was that too? Taking on an editorial challenge to do an anthology. I think that must be pretty crazy. Like, yo, you're tackling this huge project with so many people.
Yeah, and again, 10 or 12 years ago when I started, I didn't think, I just thought I'd be putting out my own books. And then when I started finding these people, they were like, oh, I have these stories to tell. And I did I've done, I think, 13 anthologies at this point. We have one on Kickstarter right now.
That's a boss. Wait, send me that Kickstarter link right now. Send me that Kickstarter link on our private chat, because now we got to show that. Oh, there we go. He's so, yep. He's so fast, folks. He is the fastest, folks.
I love, if you're thinking about getting into comics, do an anthology. I mean, learn a little bit about the craft first, because you don't want to put out something. I'll be honest, the first one I did for a message board group called 11 O'Clock Comics, I did not know what I was doing. I didn't know Photoshop. I was thankful people helped me through it. But by the time
you're like, God help me.
Yeah. Sometimes you take it on, you're like, it'll be easy. It's computer stuff. But knowing resolutions and printing specs and stuff, it does take, there's a learning curve to it.
That shit is key. Absolutely. So talk about it. Hey, look at this, folks. Look at this. Right now, live on Kickstarter, 79 backers, 25 days to go, 2188. All right. Out of 3,600, they're almost there already with 25 days to go. So please pull out your wallets immediately, because this stuff is going to be fire. So talk to me about this anthology, a mini comics double feature. Woo! Magic and the First Family of Springfield. What's going on here?
Well, in this particular campaign, we're doing 2 books at once, which we don't always do, but just with the schedule, I felt like shipping and stuff like that would be expedited. But these are actually 2 franchises that, I was mentioning with music. You find your tribe, you find those people who want to do what you want to do. And I found all these people who love The Simpsons and also love making comics. So we kind of took an off-brand of The Simpsons, and we're making comics based on the comics of Springfield.
Bro, look at this. I love that motherfucker trying to drink Duff or Death.
Yeah, we're trying not to get sued, so we're
I get you. Hey, the comic shop. No.
The Androids Dungeon has been, and that's kind of a tongue-in-cheek way, because we're kind of stealing from them. But yeah, and then I'm also a huge fan of Magic the Gathering. This is our 2nd volume of our Magic the Gathering anthology. Again, found all these people who express themselves, their love for the game, through art, whether it be cosplay, whether it be alterations of Magic cards, whether it be comics. And I said, you know what? Let's get together. Let's make a book, see what happens. If WotC comes down, Wizards of the Coast comes down and sues me, you know what? I'll take it off the shelves. But for now, I'm going to try to show people, through the comics medium, how you can express your love for these different franchises.
Yeah, I dig that because I'm actually thinking of doing something like that via CC just to have fun. We have so many creative people on our team, so why not display their talent and so many people we've spoken to? Like, yo, you want to do something? Why not? I mean, I really want to do this for charity and all. You know what I mean? Do things for the right reasons.
Again, I think one of the best things you can do is take on a project like that. You look at comics differently. You create relationships. I mean, not all of it's going to go smooth. Be prepared for that. But I've learned so much. Again, that's why I keep coming back to do it. Every time I think I'm done doing anthology, somebody comes up with a good idea, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah. Oh, man.
We can get this done.
He's like Al Pacino and Godfather. This when I thought it was out. You keep pulling me back in, folks.
Always.
Yeah, and look at this. Yo, on the stat. That's so dope, bro. I dig it. Look at the contributions. So, they're hitting you up. How do you even look over the stuff that you want to include?
Well, a lot of times for my anthologies, I've never really done an open submission. That's something I may explore down the road. But really, I go to people and I say, you know what, I really want you to be in this book. Or sometimes they come to me and say, hey, I saw the first copy of On the Stack. Can I be in the next one? I say, yeah. Well, what's your history? What do you do? I try to kind of curate it in that regard so that it's people I know can be reliable, can put out a quality product, aren't going to, miss their deadlines. I try to work with teams and people I want to work with. A couple of my buddies who I've known for 25 years, who I know are huge Simpsons fans. I said, do you guys want to do a story in this? I want to approach people that I want to see their work out in the world. So, a lot of it is I kind of cherry pick who I want to be in the book, so that I know we'll be putting out at quality. But really, honestly, just like I was saying with Banthology, I don't over edit. I mean, I give the specifications. You have 6 to 8 pages because we can only print so much. It needs to be black and white or color. It needs to be this resolution so we can print it real well. But I don't try to over edit. You put out your story, we'll let the world tell if it's good, because my opinion is going to be different than others. As long as you're, I've done some where they're just raw. People just pencil on page. We've got one on the stack book that just looks that art looks real immediate and real rugged and raw, and that's fine. I love comics like that.
Yo, what Bloodzilla? Bloodzilla. I would have called him Weedzilla because that looked like leaves on his back, bro. I mean, right? He sets his fire. He actually gets the whole community high. Like, you want Weedzilla. You want.
See, you could have been in the book.
Yeah, bro. Yo, we should do that. We should do weed. There you go. I'm giving away tonight, folks. Make the book. All right, just give me credit. Weedzilla. He has, weed breath that gets the community high on secondhand smoke.
Oh my God, the hero we all need, right?
Right?
And Bloodzilla is mentioned in one singular sentence in a Simpsons episode, so of course we had to make it into a whole comic,
And then you got the Lockjaw Legion. What the hell? I hit motherfucker got a paper bag and locks.
They're actually made out of locks. Different types of
locks. Oh shit, too crazy. And what is this? Oh, man.
That's Dog Kid and Bone Buddy, again mentioned in the background of one single image on an episode.
Wow, how much attention you guys pay to the Simpsons like that? Oh, man.
A lot. That's, again, like I was saying, I had to get the hardcore fans. Like, if you want to do this, you got to be real hardcore.
They study on this. And I really do dig that cover that goes on the stack. Dope looking. Ooh, what's this? Hey.
Well, for our first 99 backers of $15 or more are going to get a free custom MTG token by my buddy John Terrell.
Ooh.
So, we tried it when we do the campaigns. We don't just want it to be a straight up pre-order. We want them to be excited, get something extra for spreading the word and helping us, put out books. So I did some custom tokens. I am no artist, but I did this art right here, and I struggled through it. But sometimes, as a writer, you need to do that so that you can empathize for your co-creators. So,
man, let me go through the pain. Damn it, why you making me draw? Guys in tears. I'm sorry, bro.
I put myself out there this time. I don't always do that, but
good though.
I feel pretty good about how it came out.
I like it. I like this one right here, grabbing and doing it, man. That's what I feel like doing after the podcast, to be honest. Now,
and these are tokens that you can use in the game Magic the Gathering, so it's kind of a crossover thing.
Check out Mo, son. Bro, that's so fucked up. He's just waiting for a homer to die so he can step in on Mars. I mean,
for sure,
right? He's grimy, son.
He is.
And then look at this, Tales of the Tree Man.
Tales of the Tree Man. That's my Simpsons ripoff Swamp Thing ripoff with Andy Vanderbilt.
Oh,
amazing art there. So we did kind of a tribute to both in the book. So
that's fire, yeah, man. I see the Tommy joint right there. 20 additional tiers. Child possession services. You mean I could get my kid, possessed or be fixed of one?
Yes, it's more like getting them fixed. It's like a social worker for possessed children.
That was possessed. They're possessed enough.
Right, you need to pull it out of. This is that was our first book under. I actually worked with another company for about 10 years, and
you did. Okay.
Just launched Part-Time Comics about 2 years ago. So,
so salute to you.
I'm kind of restarting over,
man. Yeah, but that's good on you. Kudos, for real. I mean, that's what you need to do as an entrepreneur. Look, you're taking the reins. Like, this is your product. You believe in it, and world, watch out. I believe in it. I'm a part-time fan already. Don't you worry.
Wow.
Yeah, then you can understand. What's Depowered about?
Depowered is a group of superheroes that had superpowers for about 10 years and then suddenly lost them and don't know how. And this is kind of what they deal with afterwards. So it's a little bit like, an ex-athlete or something trying to cope with life after, superiority.
I think this is worse than even an athlete, because I mean, if you had the ability to fly, now you can't. Like, I was going to Puerto Rico every year. Now I can't, bro. I can't even afford it. My job don't pay me enough, son.
Exactly. Yeah. What do you do after that, right? And our main character, Dax, he goes to comic conventions, selling his books and things like that to try and make it by.
Shit, tour over.
Right. It's certainly not like being a superhero, so it's kind of like a post-powers thing.
And there you go with that dope comic, dope comic, dope comic, for real. I mean, right there. And how did you hook up with Comix Wellspring?
Well, actually, Comix Wellspring is an amazing supporter of indies. They actually offer this to all. The website there at the bottom. Nice. If you're doing a crowdfunding campaign, people, and you want to use Comix Wellspring, they already have good prices. I don't get paid for this, but they do for putting that banner on your campaign. You get 15% off.
For you, excellent, yeah. But helping creators make a buck, man.
And let's talk about. We're going to use them anyway. They don't have to do that. Don't tell them that. But
hey, that's what it is. Hey, Pepa, para que sepan. That's the truth. Look, $10 because you believe in it, right? You could pledge $3 and get an understacked digital, $5 up and go. So a one-shot issue of a comics tribute. The Springfield. Fuck yeah, bro. I think
you see, we're trying to dance around some of the copyright stuff.
Yeah, bro. I think I really want that one though. Shit. You got me so intrigued with that cover alone. Who doesn't want to read about a dead astronaut in space trying to drink beer? I mean, come on, that was his last wish. Give it to him. All right. You got M. Colon, TG Art tribute, right? You got double features. You got do you have retailer stacks too? We need to get retailer. Oh wait, let me get to that because I always love to sell to retailers. Because retailers that claim, there you go, retailers.
We actually have 2 tiers. You can get just the books in this campaign, or you can get all the books that we've put out in the last 2 years. Because, retailers are important. We don't have an opportunity to have distribution. So when they come to a campaign, I want to give them something to take to their shops because that means a lot to us.
For 50, you get 3 copies, another copy, then another 3 copies. Holy smokes. I mean, for 50, there's no way you're not making any bread. Shop. And support indie. Add this glorious books to that indie shelf of yours, please. Because, I mean, half the store is taken up by Marvel and DC stuff. No hate on them. But damn, it's like, there's so many amazing people like yourself with these products, retailers, give Indy a chance. I think this book, all this and drumsticks and all shit, bro, people are going to connect so much. If you, y'all got to check it out for real. I really love it. And as a music fan too, it's like, I see. I can't wait till my daughter reads this.
And I kind of struggle with that because there's a lot of great music themed stories coming out. But
Z2 is smashing it right now
just
with music themed comics. I mean,
Daniel Warren Johnson had that.
Oh my God, bro! Amazing. And that's who Maria reminds me of, kind of.
Oh
too.
Yes. Oh, and they're both from Chicago, by the way. Oh no, I'm sorry. Dan's from Boston. He lived in Chicago temporarily. I'm sorry, but they are very similar.
So you're trying to say he only got that flavor when he was in Chicago?
He might have.
He got that sazon in Chicago. Don't fuck around, bro.
But all these great music themed stories are coming out. It's kind of like you kind of hesitate. Like, what do I have to say that these amazing creators? But I have some very close friends who encouraged me. You know what? Tell your story. Get it out there.
Get it done,
Dan's story is going to be different than Daniel Warren Johnson or whoever's story. And you know, that's kind of. I feel like we need more. If there's 100 music themed comics, there needs to be 200. You know,
absolutely.
It's such an unexplored genre. It's hard to tell because you can't have music in the music book. You got to find ways to evoke the sound in people's heads. Right?
Let me tell you, there's been very creative indie creators that have actually created soundtracks behind their comic.
Yeah.
So it's like, here, throw this on and just read the book while this is on.
I know my buddy Matt Knowles from Insymmetry Creations. He does a soundtrack. He's an amazing musician, amazing writer, and he does all the music. I hope to get that someday with Drumsticks of Doom. I'm not quite the composer he is, but we did offer a soundtrack which was just music that the creators had created in their lives, like some of my old bands, and that was cool. But it's not necessarily a soundtrack to the book, which I hope to get to someday. Maybe when we do the trade, we can work that out.
Man, bro, please bring me some new metal to my life. I need it. But folks, you see this project, I need you all to go like ASAP to the Kickstarter, Part-Time Comics, double feature. I mean, up and look at this covers. I mean, and stories that are going to be on this mother. This is fire. I'm so intrigued here, especially that, bro. I mean, I know that is the most assholey comic book store owner ever, but sure. It's still the shop, man. Don't mess up the shop, man. I'd rather you beat him up than beat up the shop. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, we messed up the shop. We stole their ideas. Disney, Fox, don't sue me.
Well, you know what they need to do is hire you because they need this in order to help these brands elevate. All right, so they need you.
Wow,
so
you really are a good hype man.
Where go Disney? Let's get it. I'm not his agent, but if you want to slide me something, all right. No, for real though, you gotta check out all things Part-Time Comics right there too, man. For real, Linktree, folks. Linktree, Part-Time Comics, 2 T's, and the next. Check that out. So, my brother, talk to me. You got this project, that's almost funded. I know they'll get funded in the next day because we got good people, right? Let's get it done, folks. Let's get it done. Voodoo magic. Bye. I wish I had something spinning in the background to just hypnotize them. But for real, because this is quality, this is good stuff. So what do we got in the future, brother? Is there any? So after this Kickstarter, and the Drumsticks of Doom, I mean, what we get? Because you tease me with 11 pages. I need to know when am I getting the rest of this story, but also what else is popping.
Thankfully, thanks to amazing people like yourself who helped us hype it up, Drumsticks of Doom had my most successful campaign I've ever been part of in March of this year. So issue 1 is almost done. Dan's almost done with the art. It will be released in July-ish. It's up for pre-order now through the Linktree at our store. You can pre-order it now. And that means because of the awesome response we got, Dan can roll right into issue 2. He'll start creating that in June. That should be out in August, September-ish. You know how indie comics are. We can't always be on the monthly schedule we want to be. But that means
not yet.
Issue 1 was formulated as a one-shot unless we reached a certain goal and people just came. I mean, it's the most financially number of backers wise. I mean, people were crazy for this book. I was just so excited. It's like you're describing, people just see that art and they're just like, love it.
Dude, and, it's fire. It's fire. I'm totally excited about this because, again, as a metal fan and a horror fan, and action fan, comic fan, and black and white fan, you got to understand, I grew up, reading Savage Sword of Conan that didn't have an ounce of color other than the cover. So it's like, I've always loved black and white. That's why I was one of the first ones to pick up Walking Dead when I had my friends shitting on me. Oh, a black and white zombie comic? Get out of here. I'm so like, good. Yo, this is so good. You have no idea. Kirkman's a beast. All right, whatever. And then obviously, once it blew up, they were like, Al, you want to sell those? I'm like, too late, bro.
Too late. There's just something about black and white art. It just, it really is great. And that's not to say maybe we'll do a color edition.
I feel that it's very intimate between the writer and the artist when it's black and white. As it's not a whole team. It's 2 people.
Yeah, and I actually lettered the book too, so it really is.
That's what I'm saying. It's interior, 2 people. It's 2 people. Yeah. I mean, that shit is crazy. That these 2 people connected like symbiotes and shit. Hey, working together to create an amazing product. But I just want to say thank you for stepping out of that music world. But I want you to keep rocking out. I need you to make your own soundtrack. But just thank you as a fan, and to a creator for stepping out, doing what you do, celebrating, creating comics, entertaining us, bro. It means a lot to me for you to create stuff that actually takes us outside of what's going on in the world. I don't want to be hearing about war and politics every fucking day. It's nice to pick up something like this to read, and you just zone out, and you're in someplace else, with a smile on your face, either smoking your blunt, drinking your beer, your shot of whiskey. If you don't do anything, just enjoying the sun as you read. And it's dope. Thank you for that. It means a lot.
Well, and thank folks, you, for being one of the people who champions, people like us. We need people cheering us on and telling us they enjoy the books and hyping them up. So I appreciate you taking your time to do so much for the community. I'm glad we crossed paths, again.
Yeah, me too, bro. So hopefully we could cross paths soon. Are you going to be doing any conventions anytime soon?
Well, I am not scheduled to do any conventions this summer. I am going to be an attendee at both C2E2 and Heroes Con in Charlotte. Okay. So I'll be walking around. But yeah,
you better take copies of that book and show these motherfuckers like, yo, you better sign my ass.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Give me bigger distribution.
I'm hoping.
Make me an imprint now of your. All right, let's get it done. That's what you gotta do. Let's wish it upon the world, folks. You're gonna blow up. Don't you worry. All right. So again, right there, check out all things part-time comics at Linktree/part-time 2 T's comics with an X, folks. All right, no S. All right. Then visit the website as well, parttimecomics.storeenvy.com. Don't get jealous now. They got some dope stuff. You get everything there. All right, so pull out that wallet, pull out that credit card, pull out that purse, ladies. Dig into your dope little Gucci bag, whatever you got, all right, and get it done. And support this Kickstarter. That's not just him, but a plethora of amazing independent creators. They're just trying to entertain the shit out of us with some good stuff. And I mean, amazing price points. Retailers get involved too. You need this on your shelves. I mean, homie here is definitely a future star. So my homie, before we go, last piece of what is the greatest piece of advice you would give any type of creator trying to step into the game like you did?
Well, I think the advice that I give most often, and I think maybe people don't want to hear it, is, be realistic with your expectations. You know what? I'm happy with where I'm at. If meeting people like Al and talking on these shows is as high as I get in this, I'm happy with it. But if you only sit down every day and say, I only want to write Amazing Spider-Man, I only want to write Batman, you're probably not going to get there. I'm not telling you don't shoot for your dreams. Shoot for your dreams. But also just enjoy the fact that you're making comics, period. Because if you work hard enough in comics, this is one of the few industries where I can make, the Amazing Depowered, and it'll be on the shelf next to the Amazing Spider-Man. It might not have distribution in every shop across the world, but I'm going to be out there. And comics is special for that. So enjoy the journey. Don't always just think about, I have this one fixated goal in mind as a writer or creator. Do your own comics, and you'll find you're a lot happier then anyway.
Wepa, you heard that, folks. Work hard, get it done. Expectations, but let's be real about things and just work hard to get to that position where those, you're trying to be real actually becomes real. So let's get it done. All right. John W., you've been awesome. Folks, you know what to do. Comic Crusaders, Undercover capes, all over the place. Dope shows every day almost. We're almost turning into like a major station. My God. We got so much content, but I love it because, again, it's all in celebration of independent creators from across everything, whether it's movies, comics. Don't you worry. I got some movie stuff coming up soon, so it's going to be some good stuff and more comics goodness later on today. So, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Much love. John, thank you again for your time. I appreciate the hell out of it.
Thank you.
You keep rocking, kiddo. And I can't wait to read the rest of this story. Wepa, hasta la próxima, mi gente. Woo! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.